We have a massive Jalen Brunson update as he could be taking a massive pay cut and sign a contract extension this summer, and we have to talk about this. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video as we always do, because Jalen Brunson could be taking a contract extension this summer instead of next one, which would lead to him taking a massive pay cut and giving the New York Knicks a lot more cap flexibility than we thought we might have. And if we take a look at what Steve Popper said, he said that all indications are that Brunson's willing to sign a contract extension for 4 years, $156 million, and provide 5 more years of certainty in New York, rather than waiting until next summer for a 5-year, $270 million contract extension. And I mean, that is the marking of a perfect franchise player. Not only can Jalen Brunson be the best player on a championship team, he is also willing to take a massive pay cut where instead of getting paid $54 million per year, he's fine with $39. And I mean, I think saying that out loud, it's like, all right, well, either way, that's a lot of money. But it's still $15 million per year left on the table. Why? Because Jalen Brunson wants to succeed. Now, there's also another reason, and that is that the cap will continue to rise, and Brunson will be closer to an even bigger contract extension where he could then sign 5 years when he's in his mid-30s and can get paid way into the end of his career by the New York Knicks and just make the most money overall, which is also part of this. But still, to give the Knicks cap flexibility when they need it most while trying to finish creating this championship contender is just the making of a perfect franchise star. Now, we know that Jalen Brunson is very close with Leon Rose and that family and the CAA family. So we don't know what else is happening behind the scenes, if there's any money being thrown under the table. We don't know. But there might not be. And also, regardless, Brunson taking this pay cut will help the Knicks out so much when it comes to making a trade for another player, helping re-sign guys like Hartenstein and OG and Julius and then DiVincenzo and Josh Hart a few years later. It's just what a franchise star does if they truly want to win a championship. Brunson is just showing time and time again why he is a winner. Now, in the article that Steve Popper wrote, he also did mention Julius in here and basically said since they're both eligible for contract extensions, they could be signed this summer. But it's very different between the two of them because Brunson's contract was that $107 million deal over 4 years with the player option at the end of the fourth, which everyone thought he'd accept at the time because it was a bad contract. Well, you were wrong, people, and so was I. But also, he could sign that 4-year, $156 million extension, which would remove the fourth season because it would just be an opt-out, essentially, and provide 5 more years in New York rather than waiting next summer for the bigger extension. Randle, though, since he's already on a team-friendly deal and suffered that shoulder injury, it's tough to understand what's going to happen, and there's a good chance they won't sign him to an extension and maybe wait for next year, especially if they lock Brunson up. Maybe they'll think, all right, we got Brunson done. We'll get Julius done next year during the season or something. We could figure that out when the time comes. We have to see how he comes back from the shoulder injury. Is his shoulder okay? Is this going to be something that keeps dislocating? What's the deal here? I think Julius is going to be fine, mind you. I think he just will be. Dislocations happen. He's a professional athlete. He'll be okay. But on the topic of Jalen Brunson, he's willing to take so much less money and essentially give the Knicks flexibility to re-sign Randle and not have to worry about that second apron and re-sign Hartenstein and not really have to worry about that money as much. And OG giving him around $30 million per year. And then when Josh Hart and DiVincenzo become free agents in 2026, there will be more money on the table. It'll give the Knicks more flexibility to make a trade for a star player, add to that team. And by star player, that could just be Mikal Bridges. It doesn't even need to be an all-star. The Knicks are close to a championship contender, and Jalen Brunson, more than anyone, realizes that. He's going to continue to get better, and so are most of the New York Knicks since they're not an old team at all. They're young still. And with this being the case, they want to add one more piece. Now, specifically, I think it's Mikal Bridges. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. The Nets are tough to deal with the Knicks. They don't like the Knicks. The Knicks don't like the Nets. There's an embargo going on. The Nets like Mikal Bridges. Joe Tsai doesn't really care about winning. He's making money regardless. Basically, just like the Pittsburgh Pirates owner just doesn't care about success because he's still getting paid the same thing anyway. But what we're seeing here is a chance for Jalen Brunson to really just help the Knicks out and do them a real solid here and give them his best years under a second bargain contract. Because the way contracts are today, $39 million for Jalen Brunson is an underpay. Now, if you look at a guy like Karl Anthony Towns, who's, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying he's not Jalen Brunson. He's not the best player on a championship team caliber player. I think he's about to win a ring as the second best player, maybe third, depending on between him and Gobert, who you want to pick. But as the second scoring option on a championship team, because I do believe the Timberwolves are going to win the finals. So he's not a bad player, but he's going to be making $60 million per year. Now, is it worth it for Minnesota if they win the finals? Yes. If they don't, probably not. Jalen Brunson getting $39 million, while a guy like Cat, who, again, solid player, all-star, just not a superstar, is getting $21 more million. Knicks are doing something right. Now, I think when you look at other players in the league, like Steph Curry, who's getting $55 million per year, the biggest contract in NBA history, you see him. You see other guys who are just Bradley Beal, who are just not of Jalen Brunson's caliber anymore. Now, Steph Curry absolutely still is, but Brunson will be getting paid less than them because he wants to win a championship. Now, Steph Curry has taken his fair share of pay cuts in his NBA career, so I'm not trying to bash him, but what I'm saying is that what Jalen Brunson's doing is just the markings of an absolute championship franchise player, just great leader. The man is just awesome. I love him so much. Yeah. If you look at what Steve Popper said a month ago, he gave a similar discussion where it's like, I've heard whispers that Brunson would be open to discussions to doing an extension this summer and taking the less money. And Ian Begley also talked about this, saying, what I've heard is that Brunson doesn't really care about being a headline money-making player as a free agent. He's not caught up in that stuff. He likes it here. He really wants to see this organization keep going in this direction and to have success with him here. They're open to it, but there are also other factors at play beyond the money that'll come into it. And that is absolutely just success. It's 100% success. Brunson wants to win. He had that whole statement on like, no, this season's not a success. We didn't win the finals. We didn't come close enough. This season was a failure, all that stuff. For Brunson, it's about winning. It's about winning a championship. It's about winning multiple championships. It's about being known as a winner. He was known as a winner in college. He wants to continue that. He's in his 6th NBA season? The man wants to be a winner when it's all said and done. And he knows it's easier to do that if you take that contract now, and in the prime of your career, the Knicks can still add other players to your team. That is what he's doing. And I think he is right to do so from a fan perspective. When you're staring down the barrel of that money differential, then maybe things feel different. But Brunson's got money. I don't think he's concerned, as Ian Begley mentioned. And when there's smoke, there's fire. There's a lot of smoke that we're going to see a Jalen Brunson contract extension this summer, baby. Let's go. We're going to lock him up. We're going to get 5 more years of Jalen Brunson. After that, we're going to get another 5 more years of Jalen Brunson where we pay him all the money in the world, which he'll deserve. He'll be the greatest Knick of all time. The Knicks will win 25 million championships, or we'll hopefully just one. I think we're all fine with one. If he wins one, he's the greatest Knick of all time. I already think he's going to be. I already think he's top 5. If I'm being honest. Maybe it's recency bias. Call it whatever. I think he's top 5. And I think where the Knicks are at now, taking that pay cut is going to be massive for trades. So guys, let's hope Brunson gets it done. Leave a comment down below what y'all think. Like this video. Subscribe to Knicks Digest. We are on that off-season grind. We're just in the 2nd day of the off-season, but we're already going crazy with it. The videos are not stopping, dude. I'm on this grind. You don't want to miss out. We're going to have a lot of fun this offseason. Whenever something happens with the Knicks, we're going to try to go on a live stream. I might live stream the draft depending on the day of the week that is. I want to say it's sometime over the week. If it's a weekday, then I'll definitely live stream the NBA draft day 1 when it's the first round. Who cares about the second round? But we're going to have a lot of fun stuff going on just with Knicks Digest, including stuff like just the NBA draft, where it's like we'll comment on other basketball stuff too and just be Knicks fans talking about, oh, how does this affect the Knicks? How does Alexandre Sarr go into the Atlanta Hawks affect the Knicks? I'll give you a hint. It probably doesn't. Hawks still suck. But yeah, y'all know what it is. Have a great day. Go Knicks.